everyone, me and Raina are here just to give everyone a bit of an explanation on what's happened. A few days ago I put out a story saying that I'm going to be inactive for a few days. I'm coming back a little bit earlier than I hoped to, but I don't really have a choice on that because I need help. Last weekend, Reuben and Raven were victims of an animal attack, and they both lost their lives. They both sadly died last weekend. They were both killed by probably a rat. It was unexpected, and nothing could have. We couldn't prevent it. For those of you who don't know, Raven's Rescue was set up 2 years ago, and it's run by me mainly, but my entire family help out and just help out whenever they can. Raina, stop eating the table. So 2 weeks ago, we all went on holiday as a family. I don't normally go on holiday with them. I just stay at home to look after the birds. But when we do go on holiday together, we have some amazing neighbours who always are happy to look after them. And this was a holiday that I decided to go on. And so we asked them to look after them. And I was splitting it with my falconer friend, Terry. And Terry did 4 days and it was absolutely fine, nothing went wrong. And then my neighbour Jill did 12 days, I think. And halfway through the 12 days, the rat attack happened. We think it's a rat, we don't know. I don't blame them at all, it's not their fault. We didn't know it was going to happen. But Friday night, I believe, Reuben was taken. When he wasn't taken, he was just mauled. And we weren't told. And then Saturday night, Raven was also taken. Again, we weren't told at the time. I think they didn't want to upset us or ruin our holiday because I wouldn't have been able to come home for another week anyway. And so they both died one night after the other. And chances are that Raina, since last week, was avoiding these probably rats every night because rats, the way they kill animals is that they take one and then they think, oh, that's quite good, and they take them all. It's happened to so many other people who keep corvids, and I just should have seen it coming, but I didn't, so it happened. We found out on Thursday last week, and we were all a mess. Everyone in my family just couldn't hold ourselves together. And that's when I made that story about leaving Instagram and TikTok for a while. But I need to ask help, and I'll come to that later. So it's only been 4 days, since we've known, but it's been a week since they've been gone. We still don't know where their graves are because they were buried together, without us knowing. Again, I think our neighbours did this out of kindness. They didn't want it because they were attacked. They didn't want us to see them, and that's understandable. But I need to find out where their graves are, and then I'll show you because it's important. Raina somehow survived. It's just a miracle that she has. Rats always win. She probably was on the run every night since then. And she's now living indoors for a bit, which is not ideal because she is not an indoors bird. She doesn't do well indoors, but it's just not safe in the aviary anymore. It's got too many rat tunnels and holes, and it's just not safe. I think poor Raina, when we came back home on Friday, because we went with her, we came back home on Friday evening and she just wouldn't stop crying. She couldn't stop, and she hasn't stopped crying ever since. Every time we've picked her up from the cage, she's just been crying and crying. This is not the video I ever wanted to make. I never wanted to make this. I never wanted to ask this either. But we're really going to need your help in raising some money to replace our aviary with a rat-proof aviary, which I don't know how many people have looked into them, but they're very expensive, and we'd have to get quite a large one because Rain is flighted and she's a massive bird anyway. And the reason I'm making this video so soon is because we're stuck with Raina inside until we can replace this aviary. And although I'd really like to leave it a few more weeks before I came public about this, it's not fair on Raina. So yeah, we've decided as a family that we're gonna rip out this aviary, which was a good aviary. It's just in the last month or so just started falling apart, and I did see it was falling apart. And I have been looking, before I even found out, I had been looking at replacements, but it was going to be something that I do over time. But now I've got to replace it within a month. I just can't raise enough money by myself to replace it that quickly. So I'm going to set up a GoFundMe, and I really hope that you can share this or help me in any way, because we don't want to stop rescuing birds and taking birds in from other rescue centres, because it's something that we really enjoyed, and it is something that we set up Raven's Rescue for. We just didn't expect to be doing it without him this soon. We were actually today, 28th, gonna pick up another carrion crow for Reuben. So we had a friend. It's all I've been thinking about. We've planned it for months now. I've had this carrion crow that we named Ryla, and we were getting her today. So Reuben had a friend, and we've had to cancel that because of this. And it's just such a shame. But we're now, in a few months' time, once we've got our new aviary and we've recovered from this, we're going to start looking for other corvids to take in. We're not going to take in another jackdaw. And we're going to try and avoid some crows. But we don't know how well that's going to go. But not another jackdaw, not anytime soon. We want to get another rook, so Raina has a friend, even though they are awful, awful animals to have. No offence, they're not great pets. And we do want to look at ravens. We want to keep to corvus, corvids, so that's the blackbirds basically, because that's what aviary has always been. And it still is with Raina still here. So we need to keep to that. But we'll discuss this. We'll discuss what we'll do in terms of new birds in the future. But yes, so this is what happened. Both Raven and Reuben have sadly passed away in an accident that wasn't anyone's fault besides my own. And I should have just seen it coming. But I can't do anything about it now, and although they didn't die in the nicest way, they had a good couple of years. And that's more than they ever were ever going to have. So it's just a video saying that, and I'll make another video on the aviary and go into more detail on that, because we really need some help on that. I can't raise enough money by myself, just from what I do, to replace it. And we need to replace it as soon as possible because she's living inside and she is not an inside bird at all. So thank you for following us over the few years that we had them, and thank you for watching this video, and thank you for helping if you do. I'm sorry it's bad news.